And welcome back to Auto Reverse. I'm your host, DJ Ryan Fresh, and this is the show where we do a deep dive into hip-hop's most influential mixtapes. I want to thank everybody who's come back to watch episode 2, and thank everybody who liked, commented, shared, and watched the last video, which was about Mixmaster Mike's Music's Worst Nightmare. And major shout outs to Mixmaster Mike and Thud Rumble for sharing that video. It's kind of weird when I did this video that researched basically the thing that got me into DJing, and these dudes who I've looked up to, you know, I don't know whether they watched it or not, know that it exists, and then shared it with their followers. Then I found even more people who have had like the shared experience of tape trading, listening to, you know, Mixmaster Mike and Qbert, Shortcut, you know, Rock Raider, scratch and do juggles, and you know, we all can have that sort of similar experience in these things that have changed our lives. So that's pretty cool. So, you know, thank you for that, and thank you for watching this. Today's episode is about DJ Babu's Comprehension mixtape. If you've heard it, you know that top 5 mixtapes of all time. For me, you know, completely subjective, but it's like a recording that I've had for well over 20 years, and I still listen to it, and I still listen to it like it's new. I still have like that sense of wonderment of like, how the fuck did he do this? How did Can-Kick make these beats? It's a crazy tape to listen to, and very stoked to write about. In terms of the episodes that I have planned out for the season, this was like the one episode that took me about the least amount of time to write, but it took me the most time to edit because there was so much I wanted to say, and at some point it just gets repetitive. And I'm going to spare you that. We're just going to talk about the good stuff. So check out this episode of Autoverse about DJ Babu's Comprehension.
Excuse me, suckers.
I hate to laugh in your face, but you...
Let's begin.
DJ Babu's Comprehension was released in 1995, and I got my brown paws on it around 1998. I was just getting into DJing and had met some like-minded hip-hop heads around Seattle. Prior to that, my exposure to Babu had been his track on the return of the DJ compilation Suckas, which also appears on Comprehension, and an issue of 4080 that recapped the West Coast DMCs in 1994. I got Comprehension through a massive tape trade, and it wasn't until 1999 when I saw a CD copy at Rasputin's in San Jose when I finally had a legit purchase. As a whole, Comprehension is a mosaic of styles that's just bananas, to say the least. The tape starts off as a pause mixtape. There are live routines and original samples sprinkled throughout. Babu rips through a ton of scratch samples, and it feels like there's about a million things going on simultaneously, which is no doubt due to how Babu utilized 4-track recording. As cliche as this sounds, Comprehension is an incredibly jazzy recording. As is such, it plays not unlike a Cannonball Adderley live album, with crazy and loud improvisational sections that find transition into something that's a little bit more mellow, before ramping up into an all-out scratch clinic.
Put the hardcore style for the B-boy.
As is customary at the time, Babu also gives some space to his fellow Beat Junkies, Melo-D and D-Styles. An esoteric sound wave breaks towards the end of that first side, and it also informs the listener that the Beat Junkies are nothing to fuck with. This was also during the time when they were beginning their West Coast takeover, placing in the DMCs, thus capturing the near origins of a legacy that's still relevant to DJ and turntable culture to this day.
Ladies and gentlemen,
We got the 3 DJs on the wheel to steal.
Number 1,
Melody.
number 2, number 3.
Melo-D.
Specializing in cracking, it is kinda different, but less specific. You suckers don't
Battle my crew, check it. This DJ,
He a psychopathic thinker.
The second side shows some shine to producer Can't Kick and other MCs from Babu's Oxnard home. Can't Kick's production is a perfect time capsule for what beats were hitting in the early to mid 1990s. Golden Age, boom bap era, call it what you want, but it's timeless. The track 29 has a sense of raw promise that is more than rare these days. All the cracks and pops in Can't Kick's beats are woven into the tracks as if they are instruments in their own merit. The standout on side 2 is the remix of Positive K's A Good Combination. In all of its lo-fi glory, it's still a track that I still love to play live.
A good combination. MC like K-Rock. A good combination. Bam Bada Zulu. A good combination. To my mom and my dad. A good combination. Hey, yo, L. Have you seen the girl lately? You know the one that we freak kinda crazy? We had them all 8 through 80, but this one, she was acting kinda crazy, son, yeah, baby. I got you, baby. She said, baby. I got you. Check it out. Now, I don't mean to be brat you.
Comprehension is a proto-turntablist release. Years before Superduck breaks and Babu coining the term turntablist, the first side of Comprehension let us in on what was bubbling in his head. The pieces were there, and they were coming together. When you look at subsequent releases by other DJs and crews, whether this was intentional, a shared thought, or what have you, many of them have shared DNA to Comprehension, which is no doubt why we saw an explosion with that generation's big 3 crews, the Beat Junkies, X-Men, and the Invisible Scratch Pickles. Additionally, the 30 minutes that Babu gives to Can't Kick and various MCs shows his commitment to his Oxnard roots, something that we would see later on when he started Dilated Peoples with Rocka and Evidence. At a time when many DJs were sharing glorified scratch practices or making badass blends, giving love to the rapping homies seems like somewhat of a rarity in retrospect. This won't be the only time we discuss DJ Babu or any of the Beat Junkies, really. Their impact and contributions cannot be covered in one video or even 3 mixtapes, so stay tuned for future episodes of Auto Reverse, and we will make our way down the illustrious crew. And that's it for today's episode of Auto Reverse. I want to thank you guys for joining me today. If you like what you've seen, feel free to subscribe to the channel and like and comment on this video or past videos. There's a lot to watch, and a lot of it is me cutting. But, you know, as the channel grows, I'll have a lot more content that we can all watch and have open discussions about in our little DJ community on the internet, which I guess isn't really little. It's huge, because I'm finding a lot of people that I can share these stories with. They'll be like, you know what, I know what you're talking about. You can also find me at these social platforms right here that I'm going to insert in post. Feel free to contact me at any one of those areas if you want to book me in the greater Seattle area or elsewhere. You know, I can always use a vacation. You need a DJ in Philly? I'm your guy. I also have a zine called Last Night Being a DJ Saved My Life that you can check out right here. It is about my mental health struggle and how DJing has saved me from an early grave, as the title suggests. Anyway, that's it for this episode of Autoverse. Thank you once again for joining me, and I will catch you guys next time.